Scientists believe that a supervolcanic eruption is the biggest threat to mankind and could wipe out the whole of humanity. They estimate that it's bigger than an asteroid impact. This is by Sophie Jackson on Daily Star. Asteroids with the power to wipe out humans off the face of the earth are the subject of countless scientific studies, also conspiracy theories and debates. But the likelihood of humans being annihilated by a supervolcanic eruption is actually twice as likely, they estimate, as an asteroid strike akin to the one that destroyed the dinosaurs. NASA thought experiment defending human civilization from supervolcanic eruptions stated that an imminent supervolcanic eruption posed a much higher probability of happening than a celestial body impacting the Earth. Supervolcanic eruptions occur more frequently, they said, than large asteroid or comet impacts that would have a similarly catastrophic effect to human civilization, is stated. Now, at the second part of this video, you'll see scars of comet impacts on our Earth, let alone asteroid impacts, but we do have tremendous, huge scars on the Earth from comet impacts. Now, in fact, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, they said, the researchers found that collisions from asteroids more than 2 kilometers in diameter occur half as often as supervolcanic eruptions. They're talking about huge asteroid impacts, of course. 2 kilometers is a very, very big asteroid. So that would have a tremendous catastrophic event, whereas the smaller asteroids may have an effect on cities. Now, supervolcanoes, they say, are classed as volcanoes so huge an eruption would throw more than 1,000 cubic miles of material into the atmosphere. According to the geological evidence, supervolcano Yellowstone caldera erupted 60,000 years ago, and again 60,000 years before that. 60,000, well, 70,000, well, just about, how can they say? The pattern is not a guarantee, but it does indicate the supervolcano is now due for another eruption. Researchers found that if the supervolcano did erupt, the ensuing volcanic winter could easily surpass civilization's amount of stored food worldwide. So even humans lucky enough to live on a different continent would not be safe from the aftermath of a catastrophic eruption. It would just be a matter of time before famine hits them as well. The phrases supervolcano and supervolcanic eruption are widely introduced to the public by the BBC 2000 documentary describing the cataclysmic eruptions capable of plunging the world into a catastrophic volcanic winter, pushing humanity to the brink of extinction. Volcanologists claim most volcanoes give off warnings that an eruption is imminent weeks before the explosion. They said these signs may include very small earthquakes beneath the volcano, slight inflation, they're talking about deformation, or swelling of the volcano, and increased emissions of heat and gas from vents on the volcano. U.S. Geological Survey Volcano Hazards Program Coordinator John Eichelberger told Life Little Mysteries, rising magma causes solid rock to break, sending earthquake signals. Let's remember also that after this BBC documentary released to the public in the year 2000, it was so strong a message that the U.S. government gave the order for the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory to be set up, and Yellowstone Volcano Observatory was established and it started working at Yellowstone National Park in the year 2001, 1 year after the documentary was viewed. So Yellowstone Volcano Observatory is rather young. Now, this pushes the ground, they say, as the ground deforms from the magma swelling underneath, pushes the ground surface upward and boils off hot gas that travels ahead of the magma. Most volcanoes give warning signs beginning weeks or months before they erupt. But worryingly, even if a supervolcano did give off warning signs, the same researchers predicted it would cost $3 billion to try to cool down the magma before it triggered a cataclysmic eruption using current technology. And the delicate operation even carries a risk of triggering off the eruption they're trying to forego. They're talking about the NASA plan that they wanted to cool down Yellowstone. Now, obviously, NASA wouldn't go into the trouble of coming up with a plan like this if it was not somehow in an urgent need or requirement to cool down Yellowstone. But we do have instances where we do get an asteroid strike, and that sets off volcanic eruptions because of the earthquakes, because of the tremendous heat of the impact. Just a few days ago, we had an asteroid coming so close to Earth, it was way closer than the moon is to us. It was only 44,000 miles away from us, traveling at 24,000 miles an hour. It was discovered a day or two before it was at us. And of course, if it were to be impacting us, we would have no way of mitigating it or taking it away from us, bringing it off its trajectory. We were lucky it did not impact us. It sort of skimmed our atmosphere. That's frightening. Now, the thing is that if they do impact us, that sets off earthquakes, which set off volcanic eruptions. And I'm just going to recap by giving you a little video of what we see on Google Earth. We saw comet impacts scarred the Earth, and also the fact that we recently saw asteroid impacts, for example, in North Africa that set off volcanic eruptions that brought the end eventually to the ancient Egyptian kingdom because of the strife and the famines and the economic unrest. Of course, the whole temperature change, the climate changes, the earth changes. All this is really a catastrophe, even though it may be in a sort of a slow motion. Let's take a look at that. Here we are at Google Earth. I just wanted to show you again. This is definitely something that impacted the Earth. We're going to see it somewhere else. It slammed from the west towards the east, and you can see the indentation. It's like the finger of God pushed the crust of the Earth, and then it stopped right there, and you have these islands, which are volcanic islands. And then when you go down towards the south, you have the same thing here. The finger of God again pushed it right there, and it's as if it cut this landmass in two. The tip of South America, let's fix this a little bit, and the tip of Antarctica. It's as if they were joined together at one point, and something pushed them, and they followed the flow of the push on the Earth's crust. You can imagine it may have been something of a celestial body. Huge, maybe two at the same time or about a couple of 100 years apart, but look at them. That's just too much of a coincidence. And again, here you have volcanic island. I think it's the Sandwich Islands right there. And then you go to the other part. Let's go to Indonesia back here at Papua New Guinea. Take it to the north so we can understand better where we are. Right there. Hold on. Let's come in again. So here we are, that's Papua New Guinea. And it's as if something slammed into the crust of the Earth again here, as you can see, leaving volcanic islands here. It also happens to be a subduction zone, which is even worse. But, oh, here, sorry, that's Papua New Guinea here. What am I saying? That's Papua New Guinea. And the letters here are in Greek because I live in Greece. And it's not Russian. I'm not a Russian, I'm not Russian. I'm Greek, American, Canadian. So here we go. That's something else that slammed into it. It's the same direction as the other ones. So it could have been, now Australia is full of at least 50 asteroid crater impacts. And the one that remember that we found together? We found them together in southeast Egypt, right there. And that's the area where I told you that the archaeologists and geologists found the impact crater. The asteroid, they age around 5,000 BC. 5,000 BC. 5,000? No, 5,000 years ago. It was like 3,000 BC. Anyway, that is riddled with asteroid impact craters, and here, and even in Iraq. This is Iraq. And that's Iran right there. This is Saudi Arabia, and that's Yemen, and that's Ethiopia. Okay, so all of the, we were here, and together we found that, I pinned it, I wonder if the pin is still there. We found volcanic lava domes. I mean, you couldn't even see them, here they are. And I said, what are those, you know, here's one, and there's more. Those are volcanoes. And when you look at them, I mean, there's hardly any sand. You know how many sandstorms there are? Very, very strong sandstorms. The sandstorms have even come to Europe. They come every year. They even went over to London. They had this grayish-looking film in the sky for at least 10 days. And these are coming from the Sahara Desert. So why is it that these are so clean when we have all these huge sandstorms that are coming up even into, anyway, what I'm trying to say is, even if there was a volcanic eruption there of a cinder cone, for example, with lava flow, who would know? There's nobody living out there. Unless, you know, the ISS was passing overhead, as it had been in one of the volcanoes, I think in Alaska, and it alerted the authorities, you know, something like that. So this whole area was lush and beautiful like the Amazon until they had these impacts, and volcanic eruptions followed because the impact heats up the earth so much it even burns the atmosphere. And that's when the earthquakes and volcanic eruptions started, and probably changed, and the sand probably came from the volcanoes. And we saw that the weather changed. Anyway, I'm going off at a tangent. You'll see my videos on this. I just wanted to include this in this video. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.